Have you ever paused to wonder why so many people fear being alone? In a world brimming with distractions, endless notifications, and societal expectations, solitude often feels like an unwelcome visitor. But what if I told you that solitude, not loneliness, is the key to discovering your truest self? It's not about isolation but empowerment. About finding clarity and strength that transforms your life from the inside out. In this video, we'll dive deep into 5 transformative lessons drawn from Buddhist philosophy and real-life examples that reveal the immense power of being alone. Stick around because these lessons could redefine how you see solitude and teach you how to live fully. Let's begin. Lesson 1: Emotional Independence, Finding Strength Within. The idea of emotional independence challenges the conventional belief that our well-being depends on external sources. Society often conditions us to seek validation and support from the outside world, friends, technology, or social media. These external sources of comfort, while occasionally helpful, can become crutches that prevent us from developing internal strength. True emotional independence emerges when we embrace solitude and learn to nurture our inner resilience. A process that reveals our innate capacity to navigate life's challenges without relying on others for emotional stability. Consider the story of Sarah, a single mother juggling a demanding career. Her life revolved around the support and camaraderie of her social circle, which provided her with emotional buoyancy during difficult times. However, when her job required her to relocate to a new city, she found herself isolated and disconnected from her usual sources of support. Initially overwhelmed by loneliness and uncertainty, Sarah began to confront her emotions directly. Through daily journaling, she gave voice to her inner thoughts, allowing her to process feelings she had previously ignored. Meditation became a ritual, teaching her to observe her emotions without judgment. Over time, she unearthed a deep reservoir of strength and resilience. By embracing her solitude, Sarah transformed her relationship with herself, learning to embrace her emotions rather than fear them. This transformation highlights the power of solitude as a teacher. Solitude removes distractions and external noise, compelling us to face our emotions unfiltered. Anxiety, sadness, or even joy becomes opportunities for introspection and growth. In these quiet moments, we learn the art of self-soothing, acknowledging our feelings, understanding their transient nature, and releasing the need to cling to them. Buddhist philosophy offers profound insights into this process, encouraging individuals to observe their emotions like passing clouds. This metaphor underscores the impermanence of all feelings, just as clouds drift across the sky. Emotions arise and dissipate. By cultivating this perspective, we avoid becoming entangled in negative emotions or overly attached to fleeting moments of happiness. Emotional independence does not imply isolating oneself from others or rejecting external support. Instead, it is about creating a balanced foundation where external relationships enrich our lives rather than define our emotional state. When we depend excessively on others, we risk losing ourselves in their approval or validation. Solitude, on the other hand, fosters self-awareness and authenticity, allowing us to engage with the world from a place of wholeness rather than neediness. It empowers us to approach relationships with greater confidence and emotional clarity, enhancing our connections rather than burdening them. The journey toward emotional independence requires intentional practices. Mindfulness techniques, such as meditation and journaling, help cultivate awareness of our internal landscape. These practices encourage us to witness our thoughts and emotions without reacting impulsively, fostering emotional regulation. Additionally, engaging in activities that bring joy and fulfillment, whether creative pursuits, physical exercise, or learning new skills, strengthens our sense of self-reliance. Over time, These habits reinforce the belief that we are capable of navigating life's complexities without external crutches. Sarah's experience serves as a testament to the transformative power of emotional independence. By embracing solitude, she uncovered a strength that had been dormant, buried beneath years of dependence on external validation. Her story reminds us that the journey inward, though challenging, is profoundly rewarding. Emotional independence is not a rejection of connection, but an affirmation of our intrinsic ability to find strength within ourselves. It is about cultivating a relationship with our emotions that is rooted in acceptance and understanding, enabling us to face life's uncertainties with courage and grace. Ultimately, emotional independence equips us with the tools to navigate life's highs and lows with resilience and balance. By shifting our focus inward and embracing solitude as a teacher, we unlock the potential to become the architects of our emotional well-being. This transformation not only enriches our own lives, but also allows us to contribute more meaningfully to our relationships and communities, embodying the truth that strength and stability begin from within. Lesson 2: Self-companionship, becoming your best friend. The concept of self-companionship emphasizes the importance of forming a deep and meaningful relationship with oneself, a notion often overlooked in a society that places immense value on external validation. We frequently tie our self-worth to the opinions of others, whether it be through the applause of peers, the approval of colleagues, or the fleeting affirmations found on social media. This dependency erodes our sense of intrinsic value, leaving us vulnerable to the shifting tides of public perception. Solitude, however, offers a sanctuary where we can detach from these external expectations and cultivate self-appreciation, ultimately becoming our own best friend. Tom's journey exemplifies the transformative potential of solitude. As a successful entrepreneur, his life revolved around the pursuit of accolades and recognition. For years, his self-worth was intertwined with professional accomplishments, measured by others' approval. Seeking a change, he retreated to a remote cabin devoid of internet or phone, an environment where distractions could no longer mask his restlessness. Initially, he struggled with the unfamiliar quiet, grappling with feelings of discomfort and unease. But by the third day, he stumbled upon an old passion, painting. For years, his brushes had been neglected in the pursuit of career goals. In the solitude of the cabin, Tom painted not for an audience, not for praise, but for himself. The act of creating rekindled a sense of joy and purpose that had been buried beneath his relentless drive for external validation. This anecdote illustrates a powerful truth: solitude creates a space where we can reconnect with ourselves, independent of societal pressures. It allows us to rediscover forgotten passions, hidden strengths, and untapped reservoirs of creativity. By stepping away from the noise of the outside world, we gain clarity about who we are beyond the roles we play for others. Solitude is not an act of rejecting relationships, but rather an opportunity to deepen our understanding of our own worth. It teaches us to appreciate ourselves as we are, without the need for constant affirmation. In solitude, we learn to value our own company. This process begins with acknowledging and accepting our imperfections, understanding that they are an inherent part of the human experience. The practice of self-companionship requires cultivating kindness and patience toward ourselves, much like we would extend to a dear friend. Instead of critiquing our flaws or measuring ourselves against impossible standards, we learn to embrace our uniqueness. This shift in perspective fosters a profound sense of self-respect and confidence, enabling us to face life's challenges with greater resilience. Buddhist teachings provide a valuable framework for understanding self-companionship. They emphasize the idea that true strength lies in recognizing that we are already complete. The relentless pursuit of external validation stems from the mistaken belief that we are lacking, that we must acquire something outside ourselves to feel whole. However, when we turn inward, we discover that our intrinsic worth has always been present. This realization liberates us from the cycle of seeking approval and empowers us to live authentically. The importance of self-companionship extends beyond personal well-being. It also enriches our relationships with others. When we are secure in our own self-worth, we approach connections from a place of abundance rather than neediness. We no longer seek to fill a void through others, but instead share our wholeness with them. This shift fosters healthier, more authentic relationships rooted in mutual respect and understanding. Ultimately, solitude serves as a mirror, reflecting back the essence of who we are when stripped of external influences. It reveals that our worth is not determined by accolades, opinions, or achievements, but by our inherent humanity. Tom's rediscovery of painting underscores this truth. The simple act of doing something for oneself, without expectation or judgment, can reignite a sense of purpose and joy. By embracing self-companionship, we not only nurture a deeper relationship with ourselves, but also lay the foundation for a life imbued with authenticity, strength, and contentment. Lesson 3: Detachment from external noise, reclaiming your true self. The pervasive noise of modern life constantly inundates us with opinions, advertisements, and societal expectations. This relentless external clamor often overpowers our inner voice, leaving us adrift and disconnected from our true selves. In this environment, it becomes increasingly difficult to discern our authentic desires, values, and aspirations. The problem lies not only in the volume of this noise, but also in its influence, subtly shaping our decisions and perceptions until they align more with external demands than with our own inner truth. Mia's experience illustrates the transformative power of detaching from external noise. As a university student, she felt trapped in a whirlwind of advice from her family and peers, all urging her toward a stable corporate career. These voices, while well-intentioned, added to the cacophony of societal expectations that obscured her true aspirations. Feeling overwhelmed, Mia chose to step away from the noise by taking a solo retreat. In the quiet solitude of that retreat, she engaged in deep reflection, unburdened by the need to conform to others' expectations. For the first time in years, she allowed herself to explore her own passions and dreams. Through this process, she discovered her profound love for environmental conservation, a path entirely at odds with the corporate trajectory others envisioned for her. By detaching from external noise, Mia gained the clarity and courage needed to pursue her authentic calling. This example underscores the vital role of solitude in reclaiming our sense of self. In a world filled with distractions, solitude functions as a filter, enabling us to sift through the clutter of external influences and reconnect with our inner truth. It offers a sanctuary where we can pause, reflect, and recenter our focus. This process of detachment is not about rejecting the world, but about creating space to listen to the voice that often gets drowned out, our own. By stepping away from the noise, we can begin to identify what truly matters and make decisions aligned with our core values. Buddhist philosophy provides profound insights into this journey. It teaches that the opinions and judgments of the world are transient. Like ripples on the surface of a lake, they may disturb the water momentarily, but they do not alter its depths. Similarly, our true self remains unaffected by the fleeting noise of external validation or criticism. This perspective encourages us to cultivate detachment, not as a means of isolation, but as a path to authenticity. When we detach from the need to conform to external expectations, we free ourselves to live in alignment with our inner truth. Detachment from external noise also fosters self-awareness. It allows us to identify patterns in our responses to external pressures and to question whether these responses are truly our own or simply conditioned reactions. Through practices like meditation, journaling, or mindful reflection, we can begin to discern the difference between what is imposed upon us and what genuinely resonates with our inner being. Over time, this practice strengthens our ability to trust ourselves and make choices that reflect our true desires. Moreover, detaching from external noise empowers us to resist the pervasive influence of consumerism and societal ideals. Advertisements and societal pressures often exploit our insecurities, convincing us that we need to acquire certain possessions, achievements, or appearances to be worthy. By cultivating solitude and reflection, we gain the clarity to see through these manipulations and to anchor our self-worth in something far more enduring, our own sense of purpose and authenticity. Mia's journey exemplifies this transformative potential. Her decision to step away from the noise led to a profound rediscovery of her true self and a renewed sense of purpose. This shift was not merely about choosing a career in environmental conservation, it was about reclaiming her agency and aligning her life with her authentic values. Her story reminds us that the clarity we seek often lies not in the external world, but within ourselves, waiting to be uncovered once we silence the noise. Ultimately, the act of detachment is an act of liberation. It frees us from the constant pull of external expectations, allowing us to live with greater intention and authenticity. By embracing solitude and filtering out the noise, we create space to hear the voice that truly matters, our own. This inner truth becomes our compass, guiding us toward a life that is not only true to ourselves, but also deeply fulfilling. Lesson 4: Embracing silence, listening to inner wisdom. In a world that idolizes perpetual motion and productivity, silence often feels alien, even intimidating. The constant hum of activity and noise has conditioned us to equate stillness with emptiness or idleness. Yet, silence is far from void. It is a profound presence, a fertile ground where growth, clarity, and self-discovery take root. Embracing silence requires courage, for it compels us to confront what lies beneath the surface, often uncovering truths we have long ignored. In doing so, we access a reservoir of inner wisdom that can guide us toward a more authentic and balanced life. Raj's story exemplifies the transformative power of silence. As a software engineer driven by demanding deadlines and high expectations, he found himself spiraling into burnout. His life had become a cycle of endless tasks and responsibilities, leaving little room for introspection or rest. On a friend's suggestion, Raj attended a silent meditation retreat, a decision that initially seemed counterintuitive for someone so accustomed to constant activity. The first days were agonizing. The absence of conversation and external distractions left him restless, as though the silence magnified his discomfort. But as he persisted, a remarkable shift occurred. Without the usual noise to drown out his thoughts, Raj began to perceive subtle but profound insights. He realized how his unbalanced priorities and overcommitment to work were eroding his well-being. By the end of the retreat, he emerged with a renewed sense of purpose and a clearer vision for his life. The silence had not only soothed his burnout, but also illuminated a path forward. This narrative underscores a fundamental truth: silence is not merely the absence of sound, but the presence of awareness. In the quiet, we begin to listen, not to external voices, but to the subtle whispers of our own inner guidance. Silence creates the conditions necessary for self-awareness to flourish. It strips away distractions and compels us to sit with ourselves, fostering a deeper connection with our thoughts, emotions, and values. These moments of reflection enable us to untangle the complexities of our lives, identify what truly matters, and make decisions aligned with our authentic selves. Buddhist teachings resonate deeply with this understanding of silence. They emphasize that the mind, when quieted, becomes a mirror, reflecting the truth of our inner landscape. In silence, we can observe our thoughts without judgment, recognize their impermanent nature, and let go of those that do not serve us. This practice of mindful observation transforms silence into a space of healing and growth. Rather than fearing the stillness, we begin to welcome it as an opportunity to recalibrate and reconnect with our inner compass. However, the fear of silence often stems from the discomfort of facing ourselves. Without the constant chatter of the external world, we are left with our raw emotions, unfiltered thoughts, and unresolved fears. Yet, it is precisely in this confrontation that growth occurs. By sitting with discomfort, we learn to understand and accept ourselves more fully. This acceptance fosters resilience, self-compassion, and a sense of peace that cannot be shaken by external circumstances. The benefits of embracing silence extend beyond personal well-being. It enhances our capacity to listen deeply, not only to ourselves but also to others. When we cultivate silence within, we bring a greater presence to our interactions, creating space for genuine connection and understanding. This quiet strength becomes a foundation for more meaningful relationships and more thoughtful contributions to the world around us. Raj's journey highlights another key aspect of silence, its ability to reveal priorities and inspire action. Through his retreat, he gained clarity on what truly mattered in his life, enabling him to make changes that aligned with his values. This illustrates that silence is not passive, it is a catalyst for intentional living. When we pause to listen, we gain the perspective and wisdom needed to navigate life's complexities with greater clarity and purpose. Ultimately, embracing silence is an act of courage and self-trust. It invites us to step away from the noise and activity that often define our lives and to enter a space where we can simply be. In this space, we reconnect with the essence of who we are, rediscovering the inner wisdom that has always been within us. Silence is not a void to be feared, but a sanctuary to be embraced, a place where we find not only peace, but also the guidance to live with authenticity and intention. Lesson 5: Discovering your true self, the path to authenticity. Life often compels us to adopt masks, personas carefully crafted to meet societal expectations, family demands, or professional obligations. These layers, though functional in navigating the complexities of life, can gradually obscure our true essence, leaving us disconnected from our authentic selves. The process of rediscovering who we truly are requires intentional detachment from external influences, and solitude becomes a transformative tool in this journey. By stepping away from the noise of daily life and immersing ourselves in moments of reflection, we gain the clarity and courage to unmask the self and align our lives with our deepest values. Lisa's experience offers a compelling illustration of the power of solitude in self-discovery. As a corporate lawyer, she excelled in her role, earning recognition and financial security. But she often felt an underlying sense of dissatisfaction, trapped in a cycle of obligations and societal definitions of success. Lisa struggled to identify the source of her unease. On a month-long sabbatical, she embarked on a solo hike along the Appalachian Trail, a decision driven by a longing to escape her routine and find clarity. The solitude of the trail initially amplified her fears and insecurities, as the absence of external distractions left her alone with her thoughts. Yet, as she walked through forests and mountains, she began to confront long-buried dreams and aspirations. By the end of her journey, Lisa had made a life-changing decision to leave her corporate career and transition into nonprofit work. This new path reflected her true values and passions, offering her a sense of purpose and fulfillment she had long sought. Lisa's story highlights a profound truth: solitude acts as a mirror, reflecting not the roles or masks we wear, but the essence of who we truly are. When we strip away external expectations and allow ourselves to sit with our thoughts, we uncover insights that are often hidden beneath the surface. This process requires courage and vulnerability, as it involves confronting fears, unresolved emotions, and aspects of ourselves that we may have avoided or suppressed. However, the reward is profound, a clearer understanding of our authentic self and the ability to live in alignment with it. Buddhist teachings offer invaluable guidance on this path to authenticity. They emphasize that the self is not a fixed entity defined by external labels or achievements, but a fluid, evolving essence that is revealed through introspection and mindfulness. The practice of self-discovery involves peeling back the layers of ego and attachment, recognizing the impermanence of external identities, and embracing the core truths that lie within. This journey is not linear or easy, but it leads to a life of greater peace and alignment with one's true nature. The act of unmasking the self also liberates us from the constraints of societal expectations. It allows us to redefine success, happiness, and fulfillment on our own terms, free from the pressures to conform to prescribed roles or narratives. This liberation empowers us to make decisions that reflect our values, even if they diverge from conventional norms. Lisa's transition from corporate law to nonprofit work exemplifies this freedom. She chose to prioritize her passions and the impact she wished to make over the external markers of success she had previously pursued. Furthermore, discovering our true selves enriches our relationships and interactions with others. When we approach life from a place of authenticity, we cultivate deeper, more meaningful connections based on genuine understanding and shared values. This authenticity extends to all aspects of life, fostering a sense of coherence and integrity that is deeply fulfilling. Ultimately, solitude is not merely an escape from the world, but a journey inward. It provides the space and stillness necessary to explore our inner landscape, uncovering the truths that define who we are at our core. Lisa's story serves as a reminder that self-discovery is not about reinventing ourselves, but about reconnecting with the essence that has always been within us. The courage to embrace this journey leads to a life of authenticity, purpose, and profound peace. A path illuminated not by external validation, but by the light of our own inner wisdom. Solitude isn't about withdrawing from the world, it's about reconnecting with yourself. It's the foundation for emotional independence, self-companionship, clarity, inner wisdom, and authenticity. These lessons aren't about living alone forever, but about cultivating a deeper relationship with yourself so you can show up authentically in your relationships and pursuits. Take a moment today to embrace the quiet, reflect on who you are, and discover the boundless potential within you. The freedom you seek is already inside you. Live alone. Live fully.